So, I'd like to ask you two questions, sir.
Hello guys, if today is your first time of coming across this YouTube channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button, click on the notification bell so that anytime I post a new video, you will be the first to be notified. Thank you.
And is even joining a lot of these associations, buddy high five associations around the world. To what end does it even do for us? You remember the conundrum around joining the Organization of Islamic Countries or Cooperation then? What has that done for Nigeria? People will say, what has been in ECOWAS done for Nigeria? What has been in the AU done for Nigeria? If we had been accepted to BRIC, have done for Nigeria? What would joining the G20 have done for Nigeria? People will argue that isn't it time for us to face our own internal challenges, which makes the world see us in a good light? Because no matter how much we cry, don't demarket Nigeria, internally, the state of play of the economy is still at an all-time low. So it's not a case of people demarketing Nigeria. Nigeria constantly demarketed itself. Because in the 70s, nobody would talk to Nigeria the way they are talking to Nigeria now, when things were very good economically compared to where we are today. So it speaks for itself. And you see, once you get things right economically, things happen. From the slurry statements the West used to make to the Chinese before, they know China is a formidable force now. That's the first question. The second question will be centered around our own impact back to the world. Nigeria used to be a country that spent its own money and might to be able to earn this respect. Remember what we did in South Africa. Remember what we did in even Zimbabwe and other countries of the world. And that's why Nigeria was respected. But today, we make little or no impact because we don't even have things right locally before we even lend out to others. Those two questions, sir.
Okay, thank you. The first question is, I will reverse it to you. Why are other countries joining these international organizations? It's not as if Nigeria is the only member of ECOWAS, of EU, of the Commonwealth, of whatever. It's not. Why are other countries, and countries with serious interests, countries with good leadership, why are they in these organizations? Those organizations must be doing something that makes countries in the world want to be members. Briefly, the first one is in the United Nations. When you are running for office, it is by far easier for you to have collective organizations backing you to start off with, rather than you being the only one going around to 150 nations one by one. It's good for you to be backed by ECOWAS, and from the ECOWAS to be backed by the EU, and for you to be backed by the Commonwealth. And you see, the collectivity of all of this makes your job of campaigning for Security Council seat, a seat on the Economic and Cultural Council. So it serves your interests, and that's why members are there. Number two, when you are promoting certain programs that are germane to your own development, it is again by far easy in terms of processes for you to be backed by these organizations. Take one of the issues on the sideline of this last G20, an agreement between India, the United States, and Brazil to promote biofuels as an alternative to burning, what do you call that other fuel? Burning gas or burning petroleum.
Petroleum.
I haven't, yes, thank you. I
Biofuel
haven't
blending.
really.
So it's what it's called, sir. It's called biofuel blending. When you blend biofuel, you can add as an additive, so you can reduce your consumption of petrol.
Fine. Obviously, it is something that is in the interest of India, Brazil, and the United States as an alternative to gasoline and petroleum. Now, that was done on the sideline of the G20, and the advantages to those countries are supposed to be obvious. The other one is the United States sponsoring these linkages between India, Asia, Middle East, and to Europe as an alternative to the one India was, the one that China was, proposing, that came again from China, Asia to Africa. So, if you are serious in, number one, articulating your own interests and pushing for those interests, and you push them in such a way that they are not really antagonistic to the interest of the majority of the countries of an organization, the organization then becomes a platform for you to launch your interest. But I agree with you, you must first of all get your interest very clear in your mind, in the ministries, before you then go out. Number two, when I talk about demarketing, from my experience as a minister, I know what I'm talking about. I wish Nigeria would be a nation that we rally around the flag, not just when we play football. I know what I suffered by, countries going behind my back to complain to Babangida about some positions which I have taken at OAU summit. And the funny thing was, they were using Nigerian delegates. I don't want to mention names. They were using Nigerian military delegates to pass that message on to Babangida that I wasn't promoting Nigerian interest. They didn't even bother to ask me. It was Babangida himself who then said, they have come to report you about this and this and that. And I had to say to him, yes, it is true. I took that position because we were being sidelined by some African countries who were in a position to take decisions. And I wasn't going to accept that. And I remember, because Abacha was there at that security meeting, the Monday security meeting, he said then, but don't you know that the president of Sierra Leone is a classmate of President Babangida, and all he needed to do is to pick up the phone and speak to him? I said, sir, isn't it better that we have our own